Welcome back to Madrid Pulse. We bring you the latest Real Madrid stories, breaking news, and inside updates from the Santiago Bernabeu and beyond. Whether it's transfer rumors, tactical discussions, or exclusive insights into the players who make history for Los Blancos, we keep every Madridista informed and connected. Today, we dive into a fascinating situation that unfolded during the summer transfer window, one that had many fans talking about what Real Madrid really needed to strengthen the squad. Real Madrid did not move for a midfielder in the end, but the idea was certainly on the table. It was widely reported that new manager Xabi Alonso was in favor of reinforcing not only the defense but also the midfield. Many within the club, and even among fans, felt that the team still lacked a true controlling presence in the middle of the pitch. A player who could dictate rhythm and tempo in the way legends like Luka Modric and Toni Kroos once did so effortlessly. This concern was one of the factors that led Alonso to intervene personally when Dani Ceballos was close to joining Olympique Marseille on loan. The Basque coach believed that while a new signing could have been beneficial, losing another midfield option would have left the squad vulnerable over the course of a long season. Alonso's stance was clear. He wanted reinforcements, but above all, he did not want to see the squad weakened by departures. Ceballos, who has often been linked with moves away from Madrid due to limited playing time, was convinced by Alonso to stay and fight for his place. This move spoke volumes about the coach's trust in the Spaniard's qualities, but also about his recognition that depth in midfield would be crucial, especially given the injury history of several players in recent seasons. While Real Madrid ultimately stood still in the market, there were names on the table and options discussed behind the scenes. One of the most prominent was Crystal Palace's young midfielder Adam Wharton. Linked to Los Blancos as early as March, Wharton caught the eye of Madrid scouts with his standout performances in the Premier League. His age, physicality, and composure on the ball made him an intriguing option for the Spanish giants. According to The Athletic, discussions around Wharton were positive, with many feeling he could adapt well to the demands of the Bernabeu stage. While no move was finalized, the fact that his name was seriously considered suggests he could be a player to watch for the future. Another name on the radar was Kess Smit of AZ Alkmaar, a rising star in Dutch football and a European under-19 champion. Like Wharton, Smit has shown maturity beyond his years, combining technical ability with a sharp footballing brain. He has already been linked with Europe's biggest clubs, including Barcelona and Madrid. But for now, the youngster has made it clear that his priority is to stay in the Netherlands and continue his development with Alkmaar. Real Madrid, however, have taken note of his progress, and as history shows, the club often monitors young talents for years before making a decisive move. For Alonso and his staff, the current squad has so far proven capable of handling the challenges of the new season. The absence of a Modric or Kroos-style orchestrator has not yet created major issues. The new pressing system implemented by Alonso has allowed Madrid to control large portions of games, keeping possession high up the pitch and putting pressure on opponents. Still, while the results have been encouraging, there remains an understanding that at some point, especially in tight Champions League knockout ties or against highly organized defensive blocks, the presence of a natural controller in midfield could be decisive. Alonso's interest in finding such a player is therefore logical. His vision for Madrid is built on energy, pressing, and dynamism, but also on precision in the final third. Adding a midfielder who can dictate rhythm, break lines with intelligent passes, and bring composure under pressure would provide another layer to his evolving team. It would give Madrid the balance between relentless intensity and controlled creativity that has often defined the club's most successful sides. For now, the decision to keep faith in the existing squad seems to be paying off. Youngsters like Jude Bellingham, Eduardo Camavinga, and Aurelien Tchouameni continue to grow into their roles. Dani Ceballos, too, will now have the chance to show why Alonso fought to keep him in Madrid. What is clear is that Real Madrid's recruitment team and Xabi Alonso are always thinking ahead. Even if no midfielder arrived this summer, the names of Adam Wharton and Kess Smit will not disappear from the radar. The club has a long history of planning for the future while competing at the highest level in the present, and this situation is no different. As the season unfolds, it will be fascinating to see whether Alonso's trust in his squad is rewarded. or whether the need for that controlling midfielder becomes too obvious to ignore when the next transfer window arrives. For now, Madridistas can be reassured that the manager has a clear plan, both in the short and long term. His decision-making shows balance between ambition and pragmatism, and above all, a desire to keep Madrid competitive on all fronts. Whether it's Wharton, Smit, or another rising star, the future of Madrid's midfield is already being shaped, even if the moves are not yet visible. Wharton has developed into one of the Premier League's most exciting young midfielders. His ability to dictate play, remain calm under pressure, and organize the team around him makes him the exact profile Real Madrid's sporting management has been quietly tracking. Reports have suggested that scouts from the club have been watching him as far back as March, which explains why he has now emerged as a name on the front page of Diario AS. For fans who have followed Real Madrid's transfer strategy in recent years, the interest makes sense. The club has made a clear shift toward targeting young, talented players with the potential to become world leaders in their positions, and Wharton certainly fits that bill. What complicates matters, however, is the price tag. Wharton is valued at a minimum of $80 million by Crystal Palace, and with Premier League clubs rarely in a hurry to sell, there is every chance the figure could rise. For Real Madrid, who have already spent heavily this summer, the reality is that any move for Wharton would likely require a major sale. This is where things get interesting, because just as Wharton's name hit the headlines, reports have surfaced that Rodrigo Goes has approached Florentino Perez to ask for a move away from the club. If true, that would open the door not only financially but also tactically, as selling a star player would free up the resources needed to bring in someone like Wharton. The England international is not short of suitors either. Manchester City, Liverpool, and Manchester United are all monitoring his progress closely. Yet the situation of each of those clubs works somewhat in Madrid's favor. Both City and Liverpool have already spent big on midfield reinforcements this summer, and United have decided to pursue Carlos Baleba instead due to the high cost of Wharton. That potentially leaves the path more open for Los Blancos if they wish to act before the window closes. Of course, Real Madrid fans know that the club rarely rushes into panic buys. If the right opportunity is not available, it is more than likely that Xabi Alonso will continue with his current squad and wait until next summer to strengthen again. Rodri Hernandez of Manchester City remains the long-term dream signing, and many in the Spanish press believe Real Madrid could make a stronger push for him in 2026, when his situation may be more favorable. But Wharton represents something different. An opportunity to secure another jewel of the new English generation, one that already includes Jude Bellingham and Alexander-Arnold in white. The potential arrival of Wharton would be another step in Madrid's strategy of building a squad for the next decade, ensuring that control of the midfield remains in safe hands. For now, fans will wait eagerly to see if the final days of the transfer window bring one last surprise. The club's policy is clear. Only the right player at the right time and at the right price. Whether Wharton turns out to be that player remains to be seen. But the fact that he is on the front pages in Spain at such a decisive moment suggests that Real Madrid are at least considering their options. What is certain is that the future of the midfield continues to be one of the most important topics for the club. With Alonso at the helm and Florentino always looking for the next big move, fans can rest assured that the long-term vision remains intact. Whether it is Wharton now or Rodri later, Los Blancos will not compromise in their search for the perfect heir to Cruz. That is the Real Madrid way.